In our previous video tutorials, we learned how to access the new lobbying application with your personal ny.gov ID, created your user profile, and determined what role you will play in the lobbying application. In this next video segment, I will explain how a Chief Administrative Officer or a Delegated Administrator may create or claim an organization profile. In the upper right corner of the dashboard under Search or Create, there is the Organization button to select. Next, select the type of lobbying organization the entity is: lobbyist or client organization, public corporation, or coalition. Whether you have an existing profile from the legacy lobbying application, or if you are creating a new entity, you would input the entity name in the organization name field. If your organization profile was migrated over to the new lobbying application, the online system will recognize the name when inputting in the field and give you the option to select it. After the organization name has been selected, click Continue. The application will bring you to the organization profile view where you can proceed to edit existing information and add any new required information in the fields to claim the profile. If your organization profile is completely new, then no prior information will be found. You will input the entire organization name and select Continue. The application will bring you to the organization profile view where you can then proceed to complete the process of creating the profile. If a list of organization names do pop up, please do not disregard the offered list of the organization names. Select the Escape key to close out and then Continue. This will bring you to the organization profile view where you can then create a new profile. After either of these steps are complete, select Continue. I am now going to go through each field to be completed or updated in the organization profile. Please keep in mind that the Chief Administrative Officer and Delegated Administrator can be the same person. The first field is the CAO name. If no user profile was created for the Chief Administrative Officer, you would select Create New Chief Administrator Officer. You would input this person's individual name and contact information in this section, then select Add. This would in turn create an orphan profile, which we had talked about in one of the previous videos. If the CAO did create their user profile, which is recommended, then you would just need to type in their name in the field. Their name will appear to be selected when typed in the field. The next field is the Delegated Administrator field. Whoever creates or claims an organization profile's name will pre-populate here under the Delegated Administrator field. A second Delegated Administrator name is optional. Then you would complete the business street address information. If you would like to add an alternate address, you would select Add Alt Address. And if you would like this to be the organization's primary mailing address, you would check the box next to Primary Mailing Address. The next section to complete is the business phone. Alternate phone and alternate email are optional, but one email address is required to be listed. The next section is contacts. This is where you can list any individuals with whom you would like to have receive email notifications from JCOPE. These particular individuals will not receive email correspondence related to your filing submissions, and they will not have access to your organization profile. Also known as. If your organization is also known as an abbreviation of its name, this is where you would input this information. After you have completed all required fields, You will then need to attest to the information by selecting the checkbox and then clicking Create. If a field is missing information, a message will appear at the top of your screen indicating what needs to be fixed, as shown before in the user profile video. Once corrected, the organization profile will successfully submit. Congratulations! You have now created or claimed your organization profile. Next, we will review the additional information required to complete your organization profile. Within your organization profile are tabs. We will go through each tab individually to show you what information is stored in each tab. Depending on what type of organization you are, you may not need to complete every tab within the profile. For example, contractual and beneficial clients would not need to input individual lobbyist names. Some organizations may not have an authorized preparer, and the business relationship form may not be applicable to the entity you file for. The first tab, Organization Information. This is the section that we just completed. If any information needs to be changed, you would select the Edit in the upper right corner to make and attest to these changes. Individual lobbyists, formerly known as additional lobbyists. This section applies to principal lobbyists that have retained, employed, or designated individual lobbyists. It does not apply to contractual and beneficial clients. Individual lobbyists now require additional information in their profiles, including an email address, business phone number, and effective date for when they will begin lobbying. If applicable, this is where you can add the individual lobbyist names. You would click on Edit, then select Add Individual Lobbyist, where you will input their information. Once all required fields are complete, you can then attest to this information, and these names will be available for you to add on the Statement of Registration. Authorized Preparers. This section is optional. Your organization may not have an authorized preparer, who is a person that is hired to submit filings for your organization. If your organization does have an authorized preparer, this is the section where the Chief Administrative Officer or Delegated Administrator will input their preparer's individual ID numbers if applicable. To complete this step, select Edit in the upper right corner, then type in the preparer's individual ID number in the search field. If you have already created their user profile, the name will pre-populate for you to select. If no name appears, you will need to contact your preparer and request they create a user profile and provide you with their individual ID number. Once the user profile for that individual is created, you will then be able to add them. After the preparer's name has been added, you then attest to the information. The preparer will now be able to access the organization profile in their user profile dashboard. Affiliations. Generally, affiliations are auto-generated when a filing is started. This displays all individuals or organizations that are affiliated to the organization profile. Business Relationship Form List. This is coming soon. The ability to file a reportable business relationship online is expected to be available early December 2018. To determine if your lobbying activities require the filing of this form, please contact the Jacob Attorney of the Day for guidance. Forms. This section is also coming soon. Any saved or submitted filings under that organization name will be available in this tab. The user will not be able to start a new filing here. The filing is required to be started in the dashboard. All already saved or submitted filings will be listed here under each tab: Registration, compliance semi-annual, bi-monthly, disbursement of public monies, reportable business relationship, and if you file an extension or a source of funding. History. Any changes made to the organization profile are archived here. Filing tickets. This is where any issues related to the organization profile or filings submitted by the organization are listed and recorded. These tickets are created by JCOPE staff if there is information that may need to be amended. You, as the filer, can then correct that information in the filing. Filing tickets are initiated by JCOPE staff only. Full profile view. This is the full profile view, where all information inputted in the profile tabs will be viewable in one screen. Congratulations! This completes the steps on creating or claiming an organization profile. This is where all organization profiles will be listed once you are affiliated to them. In our next video segment, we will review what to do if your organization profile is accidentally claimed by another party.